careful you don't.
All right. Who's ready?
You nearly barely accessed it.
Yeah, sorry about that, man.
All right. Episode 11.
Episode 11, boys.
Cracking a cold one open with the boys.
Bit of ASMR there.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
Good on a warm, almost summer day.
Yeah. We got a little bit of sunshine behind us. We're filming in the daytime. 6:22 right now.
In the morning.
In the morning.
That's why we're having beers.
Yeah.
AM.
Burial.
What?
I don't know. And this is Lewis.
Hey.
Great
How's it
segue.
going? Yeah.
Great segue.
Good.
I figured we do the cold open today. Like, hey guys, what's going on? Like, I'm like a typical YouTuber or whatever. Like, check out my bath bomb haul from like Bed Bath and Beyond or whatever. You know, what I
Bed,
mean?
Bath, Bomb, and Beyond.
Yeah. Just figured we'd just go straight into it.
I like that.
I kinda like
bit
more of a
stuff.
More of a
Just
lush,
do that.
more of a lush guy.
You're a lush guy?
Myself,
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Those were the words I was looking for.
It takes away a bit of the cheesiness when you just cut out the intro and that.
Hey,
and
buddy,
you
how's it going?
You're right into a topic, but then there's people who comment.
today? It was good.
It was
Next
great,
question.
dude.
Pays the bills.
But yeah, speaking of paying bills, how we doing, guys?
Another day in paradise.
Yeah. It is very paradisial.
Paraditic.
Paraditic? Paramore?
What's that drug? Paracetamol. What's that thing I'm allergic to? Everything.
Parasites.
Let's talk about allergies. This is what happens when you do 11 podcasts.
I'm having an allergic reaction right now.
How's
to
your
how
hay
well
fever
this-
this season, mate?
Quite bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first year I haven't had to use any antihistamines at all.
I'm so jealous. I live on that stuff. It's like a third meal of the day for me, just like a capsule of Telfar.
Double parking.
double parking.
You were 160.
They call it double dropping in the club scene.
Is it 160 or 180 you're on?
I'm on the 180s.
180. It's a big boy.
Big dose for Big Ted.
That's right. It's got to be done.
Big boy pills.
There's a lot of me to keep allergic free. Allergic free.
Don't ever say that again.
There's a lot of me. All right, how we doing for you?
Yeah, look, it's
More to love,
fantastic.
baby.
Fantastic. We got as I alluded to earlier, we have a Lewis for the guest.
Make it Rainford.
Lewis Rainford in the house. Lewis Rainford is an old
Can we just leave it?
is an old
I like that one.
He's an old.
you know.
One of those guys.
One of those.
Lewis used to. I'll finish your sentence.
Thank you.
Lewis used to be part of the groundbreaking Bendigo band, Navy Blue, which is how we all met. Funnily enough,
Tis and
Actually,
day.
yeah.
Tis and day.
yeah, the good old days actually.
And how did that go, Eric? How did our meeting go?
It was great
It was good.
because we're all here.
Yeah, well, it must be all right.
Presented
We're
by
reuniting.
Great Northern.
Greg Normans.
Yeah, I haven't seen Lewis. Last time I saw you was at the Golden Vine like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it would have been about that.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah,
You were there with Andrew.
I haven't seen Andrew for about 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
Good old Andrew.
Yeah, we
Shout
figured
out to Andrew.
get you on the podcast and talk gear and talk shop and
Resident pedal junkie.
yes.
Lewis
Just gear
Rainford.
junkie, really.
Yeah, no, yeah.
What there's something in front of us here. Then now this looks like a pretty large muff.
I
It's
haven't.
a-
I
I
haven't
might
named.
say quite big.
It's a big muff.
It's quite a juicy muff.
It's a juicy muff. Yep.
This is one
You
of
can
the
get some hairy tones out of that.
Yes. Some
There's
say.
literally hair on the back.
Yep. Some would say the
Yeah.
tones you get are
Sam.
nearly pubic.
Pubic.
Pubescent tones.
Prepubescent distortion. Nothing better than the prepubescent.
Muffin better.
That's very nice.
Wow. Very good.
Well, how we had that on display. But
We're off to a fantastic start.
We
here.
certainly are.
we are botching the cold open. Should we reset? I almost.
We'll just roll. with it.
Just keep it going.
Nobody watches this stuff anyway.
This is just for us.
This is just for us.
So
So, guys.
What do we have literally nothing planned. At
Yeah.
all. We haven't talked about a topic or whatever.
We don't have any like notes like normal.
I wasn't sure how that worked. Like, I was...
we just got this guy.
I was going to say...
Is your name actually Lewis?
Nice to meet you.
Hey, Lewis, I'm doing a podcast. Want to come on? Yeah, sure.
My name's actually Matt.
Matt Rainford, I like it.
We should actually get somebody off the street.
That'd be
We should pay somebody $50 like out front of Lazy Mo's.
If you go to Coles right now, there'll be a busker.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want most.
Busker is, a loose term.
You know
by the way,
that
for a
guy?
musician.
That guy who sleeps down by the fountain, who's been
Yeah.
like sleeping outside for the last 8 years. We should pay him $50 and a pack of Duries to come in and interview him on the podcast about being homeless.
It'd be interesting.
That would be like
Just a pack of PJ Blues. Just-
I'm about 60%
PJ
sure he's
Blues.
like a virtuoso pianist as well.
so. We're gonna have pianist envy.
We're going to have the pianist envy on the podcast. He's just got a little baby, like tiny piano in his sleeping bag.
Lot
Like,
of
Charlie Brown.
what are
virtuosos
they called?
around.
The ones that were like a kazoo mixed with it.
A Kazano.
Kazano. Is that the actual term?
Honestly, if it is,
I hope so.
that was ridiculous.
I can't imagine it being anything else.
It's a niche instrument regardless.
Yeah. I would think so.
What's that instrument? It's like a massive...
An accordion.
It's called the hang. The hang.
The
I think
hang.
it was only made in like 2002 or something. I think it was made in Sweden. It's basically like, it looks like a massive wok. Sorry, it looks like two woks, kind of like in a massive like
Wok and
bowl
roll.
shape, and just kind of like tap on different
steel
things.
drums.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
it sounds
the
very
devil dish.
mystical and exotic.
Yes.
Definitely.
They do sound weird.
Yeah, they're very strange. They drum up some interest though.
Eric.
Somebody's got to do it, mine.
Yeah, it's always you.
It's always going to be me.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh earlier.
Yes.
My best friend from school had it was called what the hell was it
Lord
called?
of D.
Lord of D. That was not my nickname. It was the thing that like you could put on your arm.
Yes, the
Oh,
dual disc.
yes.
The dual disc. That's what it was.
Yes.
So I remember like playing Yu-Gi-Oh cards with him as a kid. I got my basic deck starter pack, like the Kaiba starter pack, laid on
Good
this-
choice.
laid on this floor that smells like dog piss. And then he's there in his like Mario PJs, and he's got this dual disc, and he's like dueling me like it's for real.
You can't even see what he's doing half the time because
I now summon my blue eyes white dragon. I'm like, dude, just put it on the carpet.
I'm going to
He's standing up like this.
shadow
That's how you just bought a one-way ticket to the Shadow Realm, mate.
Heart of the cards, heart of the card, heart of the cards. Fuck, it's Kaiba. Wait,
He's got his own card.
what was the shit card? Karibo.
Karibo.
Hey, he was
Karibo.
good. Don't
First
worry.
episode, man, was groundbreaking. My mind is just going today. What's the
I can remember
What
Yu-Gi-Oh
year is
pretty
it?
well. by
what's the
way.
guy? What's the Exodius? Exodia?
Exodia.
The forbidden one.
The forbidden one.
The 5 cards of Exodia.
Yes.
Yeah.
I played Yu-Gi-Oh once. I went to a local mall, the Schuylkill Valley Mall in Shithole, Pennsylvania. And on a Saturday morning, I went to a bookstore and I
Good old
dueled.
shithole.
I dueled. I played 3 duels and I won 1. It was totally fluked, and it like gave my confidence like a massive boost because I like fluked this match.
I entered a tournament once.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
But it was one of those like, everyone's a winner.
Win
So-
a free booster pack.
Yeah, pretty much. So I don't know. It was a pretty loose structure of a tournament. I don't even know if there was a winner. But they gave out like free cards at the end, and that was kind of cool. I once traded a guy. He actually had right arm of the forbidden one,
yeah.
and
It's the best arm.
everyone at school was like, "Oh man, you have this," but he just did not comprehend that it was like really, really rare to get.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
like,
this card's
oh,
shit, man.
Exactly. It was like, "Oh, this has
Everyone
200 attack points."
Yeah,
I was like,
everyone-
"Dude,
oh,
I'll give
yeah.
you this. I don't know, some card with silver writing, so it's like slightly rare." And he was like, "Yeah, done, man. Cool." Because I had like
It's
1,000
shiny.
more attack.
It's shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Despite this one was like gold writing and holographic and shiny. But yeah, scored.
I had I got some knockoff Yu-Gi-Oh cards when I went to New York City when I was like 10. It was like Slifer the Flying Dragon or whatever the hell. It was like the red one.
Yeah.
Man, it was legit. Like I had all the god cards and everything. I bought them from eBay. Yeah, I love that shit.
Very nice.
Hell yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah,
I've still got all mine somewhere.
I've got all mine. Yeah,
I switched to Magic.
yeah, you
Actually,
were big into that when we
Dude.
first met.
for a while, a friend ruined it for me, but I've been getting back into it a little bit.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
It seems to come in waves, Magic, and it
Yeah.
always has since
Yeah.
the 80s or whenever it started.
Mm.
I went to Guff the other day, and they invited me to the midnight launch of the new
Expansion pack?
expansion pack.
Yeah.
I was scared. I didn't want to do that.
So
Wow.
how long are you waiting in line for that?
Apparently, it was going to be out the door
Wow.
Wow.
in town.
Wow.
Apparently. That was the last one.
So when are you getting there?
I thought about it, but I was a bit intimidated. Actually,
It's weird.
there
How
was
that
Some OG Magic users there.
because it's been around for such a long time, hasn't it? Yeah.
They're still gathering, some say.
Yeah, still a bit of magic in it too. Yeah,
There was a spin-off in the Yu-Gi-Oh days. It was called Duel Masters or Duel Monsters.
Yeah,
you guys
rings a
remember
that? I think I
bell.
heard of it.
Rings a bell. Yeah,
I bought the starter pack. I was like, this stuff is gonna blow up.
yeah, man.
Like obviously you guys don't even remember it.
I've never heard of it before.
I remember. I remember the color scheme.
It was blue. It was
like blue and like yellow.
But let's talk about the real winner.
Yeah.
You sure you're not thinking of Pocket Monsters, Pokemon by chance?
Pokemon.
Digimon.
What's that? Digimon's awesome.
Digimon. Love
was
Digimon.
awesome.
Was good. Was good.
The movies.
Yes.
Pokemon's
Digimon's movie
legit.
2000.
I hit them hard.
yes.
Like I
That was like the internet movie, right?
saw. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
yeah,
all.
yeah.
It was like abstract. as.
Y2K the movie.
Yeah,
Pretty much. That was the first movie I ever bought from Amazon. I got it in VHS and it came in like 2001. I was like, how cool is this? I can just hit click and something comes to me in the mail.
Wow.
In Australia, we've had that for like 6 months.
I remember
funny
when,
is that?
actually, I remember when Netflix was a just a DVD rental
Yes.
thing.
The good old
actually.
days.
Yeah, that was strange. To remember.
Yeah. It's grown just a little bit now, hasn't it?
Just a little bit.
Just a
Don't
little.
let this distract you from the fact that Beyblades was the best.
Oh, dude, Beyblades
Let it
was the
rip,
best.
bitch.
Did you see
Dunno
the
about that.
there was one episode where Moses used a Beyblade to part the ocean.
What?
Dude, that's how it's actually happened, right?
I don't like. I was losing it. Like watching it. I saw like this replay on you. Like just someone had uploaded it to YouTube and it was like I part the ocean. Just like rips a sick Beyblade through it. Basically, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Is that an episode or is that just?
Apparently, it was on an episode. I'm not sure when or why.
I'm going to devote
there was
the
a
rest
clip
of
of
my time this evening to finding that.
If you check the book of Numbers of the Bible, I believe it does mention Moses used a Beyblade.
Chapter 5.
Moses
yeah.
rippeth.
Yeah.
You did study theology, so you should know that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Numbers chapter 5 for sure. It's all in there.
Yeah.
He let it rip. Letteth, iteth, rippeth.
I wish we still used medieval language a bit more.
Why doth we not?
Indeedeth.
The jacket.
Jacketh Joneseth.
Wow, we're off to a great start.
We talk about Age of Empires 2 a little bit on this podcast.
Yeah.
Guess
We
what,
should talk
guess
about
what
it more.
my first... It was Age of Empires was probably the first game I played online with. And guess what my original screen name was?
Ooh,
The Jonester.
It was a little bit medieval inspired.
Joneseth.
Jonestown.
Sir.
Jax-a-lot.
Oh!
I was going to say Jackson Jones because you weren't very creative back then.
It
But,
was very medieval.
but he was very creative back then.
Jackson Jones F.
That reminds me of the very first moments of when you're playing Skyrim. And the medieval Uber driver is taking you to be beheaded.
Hey, so you're going to give me 5 stars or what, kid? Like,
Wow, that's fantastic.
That'll be $37.50. I've never called an Uber before. So.
Really? I've driven
Actually,
it.
once.
I did it once.
It was weird.
Uber,
Once.
you don't really need it much in Bendigo.
Especially where we live, man. We just walk anywhere, really.
Pretty much. The only Uber driver I've ever taken was I walked from my best friend in back in the United States lives in Philadelphia. So we took a train. We walked from his apartment, took a train, went to the museum that has Rocky out front of it. And we must have walked at least like 5 miles. I swear to God, we walked for like 4 hours to go to this museum.
That's with the steps and everything,
Yep,
right?
with the steps.
Yeah.
To only find out the tickets were like $50, and we were like, we don't have that kind of money. So we just took an Uber driver back. It was like $15 for Uber.
Wow.
Or as the
50
old people
bucks.
say,
Days.
Uber.
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 Interesting. Are they now called Yaxies as well? Or
Yeah. What?
Yaxies? Taxis?
Yaxies?
I don't know. It's been a long day.
Points on the board, Ted, for trying.
Whatever.
Oh, so let's make the transition over to some gear.
All right.
Now that we've totally...
Can we talk about guitars? I know
Yeah.
the cameras might not even be able to pick it up, but we have 2 guitars in the far background here. So there's normally
Yes.
an invisible drum kit also.
Yes.
But yeah, these are pretty wondrous. So shall we investigate.
Yes, I'll bring one over. Lewis, you start talking about the PV160.
T60.
PVT60.
I told you I need
I
glasses.
found my
You
new
need
nickname.
glasses.
The T60.
The T60.
The T60.
It was. I'm not actually sure which one came first, but it is a pretty
I'll hand that to you.
highly
There.
revered model.
This is kind of exotic.
Was not ultra rare, but was the first guitar to be CNC machined.
Really?
Back in
Just
this
for the
is,
viewers at home, can we quickly describe what CNC machinery is?
basically automated
Yeah.
is how I'd probably describe it.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's how you would say it.
Yeah, it was sort of like most of it was automated. The necks were the guy who the PV hired to design these. He was actually another designer for something I can't remember. He drew the design up.
BC Rich.
I hope so. He drew the design up on a napkin as a start, and he convinced PV to buy rifle stock, like gun stock carving machines. So they cut 4 necks at once.
Wow.
So they were cut with gun stock carving machines. Very thin neck.
Very.
Ultra thin, almost too thin. Had a bunch of cool features on it, which I find almost useless, like a phase switch, which is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, a regular switch. And when you dial the tone back to, I think it's 7, they become humbuckers. Otherwise, they're coil tapped. So it had a weird patented circuit, and I'm not quite sure.
See, they don't quite look like humbuckers. They look like
The old
loaded.
T60 circuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like some sort of it's got like a roll off thing going on, but it's a pretty solid.
Has that had a paint job on it?
No, that's the original black.
What
just
year
a
is
bit
it?
Beat up. It's a 1983. This one. They started producing them in the late 70s. I think it was 79, somewhere around
I
there.
like the shape, man. I really do. It's like
It's
the
unique.
double cut Les
It's
Pauls.
ugly.
I like it.
It's ugly, but I like it.
It's a good
I
one.
like the
Yeah,
shape.
it's the kind of ugly that
As far as the double cutaway, I think
Yeah.
it's one of the nicer looking ones.
it's big. It
It
doesn't.
reminds
fit
me
in
of the
a lot of cases.
that Ernie Ball bass they do.
Stingray.
Yeah,
think-
it looks a bit like one of those.
It reminds me of like the,
Steve Irwin
dare I
signature.
say, the retarded brother of the Fender Starcaster.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. I'd definitely say that.
Just a much better headstock on it.
Look at the cutaway. It's like so deep though.
Well, what I was going to say, to use quite a common guitar term, is the horns are quite horny.
I have never seen more screws on a pickguard in my life either, but I like the look.
Yeah.
Look,
I also
that is
like
a thin
the
neck.
Half of those aren't necessary.
No.
double pickup screws for I'm not sure what reason, because
Yeah.
just having 2 per.
I
Per
guess you
pickup
could.
wasn't
I
enough.
guess you could angle it. I don't know.
Actually, that was another thing. They have some kind of I think they had on their other guitars too. They had a tilt system,
Oh.
something to do with you could obviously adjust the truss rod, but you can also leave that there. It had some kind of tilt adjustment.
That's really interesting, actually.
Yeah, it
For
was
guitar
pretty
Fender.
ahead of its time
Mhm.
for '83. It had a whole bunch of features that no one else really offered from
Yeah.
factory.
I'm curious to see your take on just PV in general as a brand in the United States, Eric. Because as far as an outsider goes, PV oftentimes was a bit of like, it was a little bit mocked in the guitar scene where I was growing up. But on the odd occasion, they've had some gems, including their guitar amps.
PV, the only experience I really had with PV was growing up was my best friend who I alluded to. His father helped me learn guitar, so I used to go there every Monday night for guitar lessons. And he used to have these PV Black Widow speakers, and they sounded fantastic. So as far as I ever knew, PV only manufactured speakers or guitar amps. They weren't necessarily like the cheesy brand like Behringer was and still kind of is. But I never knew PV made guitars. So like seeing something like this is actually really neat. Like for even
It's super rad.
I think they fell off like after like 2000
Yeah.
or something.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. They probably just never really got popular. But
What
Cool.
pickups are they?
Sorry,
What pickups are they?
just PV's own something. I'm not quite sure.
Is that like the pickup cover they came with all the time?
Yeah, apparently. Well,
They
everything.
look like those hot rail things.
to
Yeah.
my knowledge,
Yeah.
everything on this is stock except the strap locks, which were changed to locking before I got it.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm not sure what happened to the old ones. The rest of it, I've gone over it. It's got the PV tuners.
How are they? Are pretty good.
Yeah, they're actually surprisingly good. Like for an 80s, it holds up.
It's in good nick, man. few little knocks and stuff like that up here, but
And you were saying
35-year-old guitar. It's pretty
pre-show they still retail for quite a lot, like something like that.
I think they're more popular now than they ever have been.
Yeah.
A bunch of there's a hardcore band that uses them. I can't remember the name, but they're used by O Brother. O Brother bassist uses a T40. I think guitarist has used one of these at some point.
Yeah.
A lot of people have used them recently over the last like 10 years. I think they're more popular.
it's
than
very
they ever have been.
hipster, especially with the out of phase or with the phase switch.
I think that's sort of where it came from. Is no one really knows what they are. When you look at them, it's probably the least.
Yeah.
Let's get real also. Like for the time, just having a maple neck with like humbuckers.
Actually,
That's a pretty raw sound.
I forgot to mention. I can't remember which way it is, but I think the painted ones have a poplar body,
Yeah.
and the natural have an older.
If it's natural, it's probably older.
Yeah, so like they look a little. Frame looks a little nicer, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. That's
Like
pretty
I
cool.
haven't heard it plugged in, but I can only assume it's kind of sound like like a bit like a Fender Jag or something like that.
It's pretty hot. It has a pretty high output.
Yeah.
Actually, I was surprised at how hot it was.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of a feedback issue, I found, but I'm not sure whether that's because I'm not quite doing the humbucking thing right or...
It's definitely an 80s guitar looking at it. Like it's definitely of the times.
You've got some quite thick strings on there too, don't you?
I think it's 49 to 11. Yeah, 11s, because I always standard D or drop C.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the odd occasion, I tune to God Awful and drop that down to an A.
Yeah.
At least you've got the size for the strings there.
Heavier
to do
drop
so.
D.
Heavier drop D,
Yeah.
drop C. Yeah, that's right.
I just like the way everything sounds. Standard D, drop C, it's just
It's good.
that
Absolutely.
little
Yeah.
bit.
Everyone's got their little range, you know. I've always been a half step down guy. Just
Yeah, I find personally with my stuff, I don't know if it'll ever get out there. I think it only sounds best in standard. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it takes the luster off of it if it's even in half step. I've tried it.
you're
Sounds
talking
okay.
like those big G's and big D
Yeah, just your
chords and
standard
that.
G over C, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
I mean, E's standard for a reason.
Yeah.
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 That's
damn straight.
sonically the best.
Yes.
I found out just the other day, Polyphia, a pretty big band, they've released a album just last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, their latest album. Bit of a virtuoso sort of instrumental guitar band.
Yep.
Yeah, they just play in standard also, despite
Strange.
everyone else on the scene these days playing, 7 strings and drop ass tuning and all that sort of thing. It's refreshing to hear somebody playing standard
Wow.
in this day and age.
Funnily, it's like Metallica when I was learning guitar, aside from the Saint Anger album where they went drop C for whatever reason. It's cool like how heavy you can be in just standard tuning.
For sure.
Like, you remember Silosis?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're standard E, I think, or half step down.
I think mainly E and then, a little bit of half step down.
They're
but
like the heaviest band I've ever heard. For
Lamb of
just
God.
standard E.
Wow.
Lamb of God is just drop D.
I think they went to drop C in
Later
later
on.
albums, but yeah, most of this.
Like Laid to Rest and all that.
When they-
no, what's the album? Ashes of the Wake is the album. Just drop D.
drop
How
D.
simple.
That's a good album.
just take that
God.
string.
when you write the best drop D riffs imaginable, you kind of have to change tunings after a while, really.
Yes.
No one does
There's,
riffs
there's
better in
nothing
drop
left
D.
that you
No,
can do.
they've done every riff they can in drop D.
They did
It's
it.
too good. They're riff lords, they are.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they'd be better at Rifftober than we have been.
Yeah, I have a confession to make. How many
Yes.
days would we last, boys?
I
it's
last-
only the 25th today.
I lasted 9 days. And purely because for me, if I'm going to do it, I've got to do it in the way that I was doing it, setting up the camera,
Yeah.
miking up the amps. We're going direct, practice the thing before I do it. So it would at least be an hour and a half to 2 hours before I could actually bounce out the thing from my computer to Instagram. It's a time sink, man. It was really fun.
I was
initiative to
very
do.
impressed with your production value.
If I'm going to
showed
do it,
it.
I'm only going to do it right. You know what I mean? So
The Eric Ladd way.
yeah, man. But I mean, like, it was fun. It was fun to do
Yeah,
it.
I only lasted 4 days, but I'm very much just a part-time guitarist. If
Yeah.
anything, I'm much more of a casual guitarist.
Yep.
But yeah, I just kind of got a bit drained from it, just forcing myself to do it every day. Just at the time, I know everything's an excuse at the end of the day, right?
I know.
If you can't allocate 20 minutes to do something, I mean, of course you can.
True.
But it was so draining. It was like, oh man, just
Honestly-
forcing yourself to do something creative every day, as rewarding as it was, and I learned a lot from it. God, you got to respect the guys that are doing it properly.
That's how you burn out, man. I
Yeah.
tell you what.
stuff.
Like between, I know it sounds like a stupid excuse. Like people would be like, oh, well, it only takes an hour a day. But it's like, yeah, I work for like 8.5 hours or 9.5 hours a day. And I only get like 45 minutes to myself before I go to bed. And this is eating into that. I mean, come on.
Sorry. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we apologize.
Yeah, that's all right, mate.
Once a fortnight, we can do that.
Yeah, we'll still do it.
Yeah.
It's inspired me to put a bit more creative content out there, though.
Yes, for sure.
But like, you just got to be a bit more in the zone. Have that.
Planning as well.
Planning for it a bit more. But yeah, rewarding experience to say the least. But yeah, 4 days, it's pretty average.
I did cheat and do multiple per day, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's
So I'm the real
smart.
winner. We didn't check in on Big Ted there.
I got to like 13 or 14.
You did pretty
I
well.
was following that.
Yeah, you did really
was-
good.
Thank you
I was
very
enjoying
much. And then I've done like I think 2 since then. So you could say 2 weeks worth of material.
You beat us.
I guess. Yeah.
Collectively,
I
Clear
win
winner.
Rifttober.
Clear winner.
collectively, as a team, we won because we got a couple of people outside the circle to actually get some videos up there.
Sean Orr.
Sean Orr,
Jared did him.
Jared Meadows.
He's the
He
king.
was the best, like,
He was good.
talent wise.
talent-wise, the best.
He's a beast.
I had somebody else messaging me like, hey, is it too late to start Rifttober? I'm like, no, go on.
It's still Rifttober, isn't
It's
it?
still Rifttober, dude.
Somebody messaged you in like November. No, you can't do it for another
Is it
11 months.
You gotta wait. You gotta fucking wait.
Riftvember.
No. No.
No.
But
No
yeah.
Rifttober for you.
It turns out October's just one of those real like challenge months. Everybody seems to get behind. Like Sober October is the big one
Really?
that gets around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've only really ever heard of
Cheers
no
to
Shave
that.
Ember.
What's that?
No Shave Ember or Movember.
Oh, November.
No Shave Ember.
Yeah, that's what we've always called it.
I want to call it that now.
It's got more of a ring to it than Movember, I will say.
As soon as November 1st hits, can you just keep your mustache?
No. Not at all. I think I've had this since last November. Like it's staying.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. I can't remember what I look like underneath.
It's liberating.
Yeah, but
Don't do it.
I'm not going to.
Don't do
do
it,
it.
man.
I regret it every time I do it. And it's not my fault when I go like beardless. It's
I-
not my fault.
I can't help but notice that you haven't had one for a little while though.
It's my summer look, Tyler.
Yeah, but
I've embraced it.
this is my summer look too. More beard than I had
Normally it's
last
the
summer.
opposite, isn't it? Normally people grow a beard in like the winter and that.
Yes. Yeah.
Ah.
But the men keep it going all seasons long.
Yeah, mate.
I shaved my excuse of a beard so I could do a handlebar, and it was the worst thing
Do you have
that
any,
I've ever done.
do you have any photos of that?
Yes.
Can I see
Yes.
them after the podcast?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Can we also see that video of Brody again after the podcast?
I will send
Make sure you
it. I
show
will
Eric
send it to
also.
you. I
That was
don't know. I don't know
ridiculous.
what-
Try and
I don't know
guess
whether I
which
want to
one
show
it
that.
is, Brody.
Brody's a friend of the podcast. Apparently.
That's a strong word.
Podcast is a strong word.
Podcast.
Whoa, dude,
Podcast.
don't use the F word around here. We're partners.
I think we got to keep things moving along, guys.
Yep.
We have another guitar in the background.
Yes, we do. Here, I'll move that to this.
Yeah.
For you.
Can I have a quick little?
Yeah,
I'll
that's
put
I
it
meant to.
back.
I meant to pass it around, but it felt rude. So
Dude,
passing in front of people.
the neck is ridiculously thin,
I
right?
like
so
the,
you can,
Yeah, it's
you can go to town.
almost too thin.
I like the knobs on it. Tell you why.
The branding. The branding.
The branding's nice, but it's like that silver kind of top hat look too. They're nice.
Just
I'm
tiny.
very
It's just
impressed.
the little things about it.
It's very unique.
Like one of the, I forgot what they're called. Fender has them. but,
String tree.
String tree.
Yeah.
That's a string triangle.
Triangle.
Right, yeah.
Looks cool.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
I'm on fire
Shall we
today.
segue? Do you want to have a look at this?
I'm seeing it right now.
I'll pop it away then.
That's a no.
Thank you, though.
This particular instrument here I hold in my hands,
Is a guitar.
we've been talking about since episode 1.
We have actually
Because-
we can reference
Because
now.
we can reference. There's always room for referencing.
Every episode there's room.
So I'll give you the long story short here, folks. So this used to be an Epiphone Les Paul Junior 2 I bought in 2005 in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania Guitar Center. This is my very first guitar. It used to look something like this, with the burst was more dynamic. It's been refinished 3 times, this being the last time. It had a double cutaway at one stage, and I had it filled in. So I had to go a little bit tight with the burst because of the character of it. It's if you look closely in the light, you can see this hole here has been refilled. That was the tone knob. You can see the pickup hole here was filled in. So it's not beautiful by any means, but boy, it actually sounds really good. Bears my last name on the headstock. The tuners are reversed because the Epiphone, whatever headstock can't handle the Gibson style tuners, the Kluson style tuners. So when you would tune normally on like a Gibson style headstock, you would turn like away or whatever. But this one you got to turn towards you. So interesting, but yeah, it's a beautiful instrument. I'm very happy with it.
That's a pretty hot humbucker too.
Yeah, it's actually
Did
really,
Slush used to use that? Where have I heard the name before? Or
I wouldn't be surprised.
Someone uses it.
maybe it was just like on the old Gibson or Epiphone websites. There was a certain range of guitars that had those humbuckers, and they were pretty gnarly.
Yeah, it's
for the
actually
time.
very
It
hot.
wasn't Paul Gilbert, was it?
I wouldn't be surprised actually.
I think he's always been a DiMarzio guy.
Yeah,
And
that
I'm not
makes
even
sense.
sure what brand that is.
Dirty Fingers?
Gibson, isn't it?
It's Gibson.
It is Gibson.
Yep, it's a Gibson
Cool.
pickup. So I
He might
bought
have had
that.
it in that.
He might have.
What guitar did he use in that technical difficulties clip that he did?
Was it Iceman?
Yeah, there you go. Which is a completely different brand again, isn't it?
He's always
It's an Ibanez, isn't it?
always done Ibanez stuff.
The Fireman.
The
Oh,
first,
yeah,
the
maybe he's
reverse
reversed.
Iceman.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Fireman.
I just
that's
always
cool.
thought that was a Gibson for some strange reason.
Could be.
Looks like some of the. I mean, Gibson, let's be honest, have had some ridiculous concept guitars.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of
Oh, yeah.
Gibson, did you guys notice that they named a new president and CEO for Gibson, as well as like a PR manager? Like they kicked the old guy out, the guy that was in there.
Interesting. About the time they did a move.
Yeah, they're
because
doing
Fender
it.
is kicking goals, son.
Yes, I know.
100%.
The Troublemaker Telly. I mean, come on. I wouldn't mind one of those.
I'd make a bit of trouble with that.
I'd
Thanks.
make some trouble with it.
Fender hit Triple J News the other day as I
Did
was
they?
driving around at
That's how you
work.
know you've made it.
50% of Fender guitars sold in the last year were bought by females.
Wow.
It's a nice bit of a fun fact, you know, with so many emerging female artists out there. Tash Sultan is probably the main claim to fame there. You go, girl. But yeah, interesting stat. A lot more chicks they can tune on into the Live Room podcast anytime, I guess. But
Especially if they play Fender.
but yeah, interesting.
50%, that's a huge margin, really.
Australian, like I believe that's their, you know, like their worldwide sales. But as far as like
It was in the UK, I believe.
UK,
Makes
Still
sense.
impressive.
Cool.
Still impressive.
Still very impressive.
yeah,
50,
There's a lot of really good
50% more to go.
a lot of lot of awesome talent out there.
Yeah, I noticed on Instagram everybody's playing, everybody's doing it. You know what I mean? Like on the Pickup Jazz channel, or it used to be called Pickup
love
Jazz,
it.
but now it's called Pickup. They repost a lot of people, and there's a lot of female artists on there just using Strats and stuff, and sounds all right. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
a nice, delicate, you know, sound, and
yeah, not to say that Strats are very feminine, but you know you can make them your own for sure. So make sure we watch our man spreading here. By the way, guys. Does anybody
Let's
want
be
this
honest.
mango drink here?
It's all yours, son.
It's all yours.
Because I don't know if it's going to taste any good.
I've tried the lime one. That was okay.
Get that up, yeah.
It's not a BB by any means.
I'm going to drink this beer right now.
I'm gonna have this nice little summer bright here.
That sounds amazing in our cans.
It's actually really gross. If anybody wants to,
I
Enjoy,
waited,
mate.
like how long has that been since you put it on the table? I
probably
good
about
hour.
a half an hour.
think I've waited that long to. It's quite
The flavor's pretty in your face.
It's really gross.
It's too much flavor. It tastes like they just added cordial.
yes,
Right? Well,
yes.
It's
Yeah.
Alcoholic
Who makes
Kool-Aid.
it? Coddy's?
Summer, I don't know.
4X.
Bixid's.
It's a branch of 4X, I think.
Yeah, it is 4X. Do you want to try it, Tyler?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm going to stick to me old.
Greg Norman.
The Greg Normans.
So Lewis is our resident gearhead here. Brought along some goodies. Let's talk about them.
You've shown us one of your
There's a
goodies.
lot to talk about with pedals, man.
there's a few. I don't know if I can reach the box.
Yeah, you should be able to reach. So Lewis has brought a bunch of pedals over. He's our resident pedal junkie. So he'll be able to appreciate some stuff here. And
This
do
has now turned into a pedal unboxing
some
video.
live unboxings,
Live unboxings.
or as we
Very
call it, a
nice.
pregnancy. That was a flop, man. Why did I say that? There's whatever.
How many did you bring, man? That's ridiculous.
Lots to
Altogether,
talk about.
too many.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
Tyler,
Well,
I'd buy a rat pedal.
You got two
It's a
of the
different
OGs
rat.
right there,
It's a
man.
different rat. It's not it's a 80s, but I wish.
Rat and the Big Muff.
Ooh.
The only two pedals a man ever needs.
It's funny that this is
rat
heavier
muff.
than that pedal.
Is it really? Let me feel.
100%.
Actually, it's funny when you look inside that one.
For real.
There's probably like
There's like
that
nothing in it.
much. Like,
It's just
the circuit
One
all
little
up
circuit
takes
board.
up like not even past the way.
Interesting.
Well, didn't they make that shell that big so because they left a lot of room for modding of that pedal?
I think so. Yeah.
So you could house.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or maybe for live use, because like
Because there's so many
can't
different
miss
clones
it.
of it too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
too.
that too, yeah.
How would you mod
stage.
that though? Like, why would you mod a big muff?
To put another muff on it.
If you take, I
bigger
can't remember
muff.
which one it is. If you take one of the diodes out of it, apparently it's the same as a Maestro fuzz.
Okay.
I can't remember which one it is. The one
Remember
Gibson,
one-
Gibson produced.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Electro
The 70s.
Harmonics have released a couple different versions of the Big Muff.
Phew.
Just a couple.
Just a
There's-
couple.
I think there's like 18 or something.
it's
over the
definitely
years.
there,
They
but
can't all be big, right?
some of the features are like,
I can
is it
smell
really
that
worth
beer
trying
from
something
here.
new? Like one had like a wicker switch, which I don't
Yeah.
even know what that is.
Mm.
But hey, why not? Why not try it? Might give you the extra edge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
possibly.
The old Sovtech, the Russian-made ones. They're sort of the holy grail.
Let's start from the
you have
top,
one of
I
them?
guess. What's up here?
Here we have a Dead Stag by KMA Machines as a fuzz/distortion pedal. Tell us about this guy because it's got an interesting design. The thing about pedals, before we get into it, is that like they're done very artistically.
Definitely.
The more like some of them can be really unique. Like for example, like this eye could be an LED. You know what I mean? Which would be fantastic. So tell us about this.
This one, I don't have any specs on hand to tell you about. This is basically a modded Big Muff.
Oh,
This is basically a Big Muff with more tone shaping options. So you've got a low and a high distortion
Yep.
setting, which is fantastic. A smooth and a sharp distortion, which you can sound like anything from smooth blues to a buzzsaw, which is
Yeah, wow.
It just
super
changes
nice.
your
This,
wave.
this gives a weirdly good New Queens of the Stone Age tone. You know that weird,
Yes.
Tight and
velcro-y-
choppy.
Yeah, and it's got also a nice like bass and treble, so you got a little bit of EQ control. There.
Very
A
nice.
little bit more control than just one tone knob.
Yeah.
So it is altogether. It is probably my favorite.
Wow.
Fuzz,
Can I
which
have a
is
look?
Pretty cool.
It looks great aesthetically.
Great look, yeah.
got it in a trade actually. I'd never heard of it before, and a guy said, "Do you want this?" So I looked up the retail, and I went,
Yep.
Sure.
"That seems like about the same as."
Yeah.
What did you
Yeah.
trade for that?
I can't remember what it was.
Because what was that distortion pedal you had that I used all the time? That green one,
Green Screamer.
the green screamer.
Green Screamer. Actually, I got rid of that recently.
That was a great pedal.
$80.
$80.
Yeah,
It was like
I just wanted
that
it gone.
was like a tube screamer.
Yeah, that was basically a Tube Screamer copy, which was a good pedal.
I appreciate how these are harder to change than normal knobs because sometimes you might hit it with your shoe mid-show.
You can try and change them if you want. It's actually they're a little bit stiff.
There we go.
But yeah, obviously everything has Velcro on it because I'm a dirty pedal board user
Yep.
that likes to stick things down. This one is probably the lightest overdrive I've ever used, but it's still nice.
As in lightest in weight or sound?
Both.
Oh.
No, sound-wise, it's like a dialed-back Tube Screamer.
Oh, yes.
just
So it's sort of like it's
Yeah.
honestly almost like it's the most simplistic pedal. It's just got a master and an overdrive.
Yep.
It is the most like straightforward pedal by Death by Audio. If you've heard of them,
Yep.
yeah, the Interstellar
brand.
Overdrive. They do a deluxe version of this. I haven't tried it. Has obviously more options, but that's fantastic for just pushing it out.
Yeah.
Just
Just gets that
just
little bit
straight
extra
up,
juice.
yeah, just straight up. It's basically
Bit of a
I
boost.
used it as a clean boost
Yeah.
because I don't actually enjoy having a clean tone. I like a little bit of.
There's
Who
who
Just
makes
a
it?
little bit. Yeah.
The our good friend Jared from episode 10 introduced me to a pedal called the EM Drive, which is basically just a
Emerson, is it?
yeah, I think
I
so.
thought it was the M Drive.
Whatever. M
Yeah,
Drive.
yeah. Sorry, yeah.
It basically you put in front of pedals to push, or it could just be a clean boost, which is actually
So
really
it pushes
interesting.
the heads in front of the chain. Sorry, that follow it.
It just gives it a little more
Cool. Nice.
to describe it as plainly as possible for our non-musical viewers out there,
Yeah.
which there are many thousands.
Millions even.
of non-musical viewers on a music podcast.
Now this one looks really interesting. This reminds me of some Neve goodies for those of you who know.
It looks a little bit like a Strymon.
Yeah, it's basically,
Does.
I don't know a lot of background on the brand, but Nux I'd never heard of them before this.
These nuts.
Exactly. They make pedals that didn't really grab my attention. Then I saw this, which looked like a Flint copy.
Yeah,
Strike
exactly.
Flint.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and what does a Flint have on it again? It's got tremolo, but what else does it have? Is it reverb and tremolo?
I think it was a reverb.
It was a reverb and it was a something and trem, which I thought was a weird combo.
It wasn't chorus, was it?
Might have been. Anyway, it was a something and trem. which
Some
I thought was a
modulation
weird,
thing,
A little bit of
yeah.
a weird pairing, but it works well for what it is.
Kind of like that 50s style.
Yeah, this one is a
Rotary,
I
maybe.
liked this one, the idea of this one better because it's a delay and reverb. So
Ah.
it's sort of
Doesn't get better.
what I mainly used in one box, and it's actually quite small.
It's actually really, really nice looking as far as pedals go. It's got a nice,
I like the red knobs.
nice finish to it. Bright red knobs.
It's got a lot of good stuff on it. It's got a 60s, 70s, and 80s style delay, so you can get that.
Wow.
It's actually pretty good. Like the modulation on them is actually really good. You can emulate that filthy
Yep.
tape, that degradation of the tape there.
Yes.
It's got a spring, a plate, and a hall reverb. Which they've each got different settings. I can't remember what the spring is, but the plate and the hall are... One of them you hold for shimmer, and then one of them, I think it's hall, you hold for... You know the EHX freeze?
Yes.
That pedal? Yeah, it's got the exact same effect on it, which I actually
Sweet.
really liked. I wish it had a toggle setting.
So like you'd press it for one sound and hold it for another.
No, sorry, depending on what it's set. Depending on
true.
the reverb it's set on, it does different things. I think it's plate, it's shimmer, holding it, and then obviously just turns it on and off.
Cool
when you
that,
don't.
it's cool that you can hold it too just for the effect, and then you take your foot off. And
I wish it
go
had
back
a.
on it,
I wish it had a toggle on it though, so I could just go, just freeze that sound. You can hit your tuner on, do your tuning while the sound's sort of still flowing. I found that was
True,
That was really
yeah.
good to do, but you sort of had to
Tie together your
it's a bit of a
songs.
foot dance to get to hold that down, hit your tuner as well.
Just to kick that
Was a
ambience
bit of
and
a-
that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's got some great options. You can make it self-oscillate, so you can get that infinite
Neat.
delay going. So that's pretty cool pedal, and it has a
It's awesome. There's so much in one.
which I actually really liked.
That's really cool.
I put this at the end of my board a couple of times to run into two different amps, which was
That's really nice.
fantastic. It's also got the option of a pad,
Wow.
which is really nice, and you can run the two serial or parallel.
Wow.
So I actually thought it was a bit of
All the options you have there is actually really
all
cool.
for $200.
That's not bad.
Actually, a
That's a
fantastic
steal.
buy. I would
Can I
endorse
look at that one, champion?
I would endorse that. I would very much.
Just on what
endorse
you told me there alone, that is like sometimes just a single reverb or delay pedal is upwards of $300. It's all in one unit.
that. I mean, you
and it
get what you
works,
pay for.
you know?
So like,
Yeah.
it's not. It is very good. It is not the best I've ever heard. Obviously.
How's the shimmer effect? Because it's very hard to find a good shimmer.
This
This
is
goes back
cause
to
for
our
debate.
Navy Blue days.
I,
Tyler had a shimmer effect on a particular song. It only sounded good with one pedal,
The thing is with the shimmer,
which I forgot
do-
what the reverb was you had at the time.
I do
was
like
just
shimmer.
a tiny one. That tiny
Yeah, it was the
thing.
Mua.
The
I
Mua.
had the Mua Shimverb.
Yeah.
Shimmer. The shimmer on it's very good. Playing a lot of Doom and Drone. I don't exactly use shimmer.
Understandably
whatsoever.
so.
Brody loved it because we lived together. Brody was jamming it quite a bit, and I thought that pedal was okay. I liked it. I liked it for what I bought it for. He played around on my rig a couple of times while I was sitting in the lounge room, and I liked it more. Hearing what he'd
Some
sort
of
of
the sounds.
he'd been spending time at home playing with it. Obviously, he's
Yeah.
like, can I play your rig? And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. He'd spent time getting to know it better than I had. And he was using the freeze, just a massive amount of reverb. He was just getting really cool, spacey, just incredibly nice, clean sounds. And it was good.
Nice.
I liked it more after that. I sort of went, holy shit.
That's really cool.
I will say I really like the way they've done the time.
It is handy.
Just because, like, I don't know whether you guys can see that, but you got 3/4, half, like a third, a quarter.
Oh, it's
Yeah, like
really
you set your
interesting.
tap tempo for your main tempo, and then you can, it's sort of, I wish it was like more of a position switch rather than like a free turning knob. But
Yeah.
I prefer something simplistic like that as opposed to having like, you're at 936 milliseconds.
For recording purposes, milliseconds is
Yeah.
ridiculously handy to have.
Absolutely.
I often wish that did have milliseconds.
Yes.
Just
There you go.
just simply live purposes. But
For bedroom sort of practice,
For
and
what it
that,
is, for
you
a
just want to
cheap-
get what you want.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
a cheap pedal in such with such a small
I'm pretty
footprint-
impressed. Do they have a full range of pedals, these guys? Or
Yeah, they do. Nothing really grabbed my attention apart from that. I think one other.
That's great.
They had a power amp one and also a power amp simulator, which I thought was strange. So
Interesting.
It wasn't
So-
actually
Why would you simulate?
it wasn't
power?
actually an op amp. Like it wasn't actually
Yeah.
sort of gave you the pre of one, like a nice power amp pre, I guess.
That's not like that Magnum 357 pedal, is it?
Sort of, but that
Yeah.
actually has an amp. Like that actually does. Power.
so it's
is technically an amp.
yeah, which I was blown away. I'm still yet to play one of them, but I'm interested.
a lot of dudes use them.
I've seen people power like a full stack
Yeah.
with them, and
Crazy.
it's 44 watts, so it's not.
That's right, Magnum
Quite.
44.
Wow.
I don't want to say Carnival use it, but they use a similar pedal. And like, it doesn't get much bigger than that for like a prog rig.
Well, like Harry's often asked what power amp you should get next. I said, dude, just spend $150. Try out that.
Yeah.
Put it on the end of your pedal board.
Buy my carbon.
I've told him that, but you know,
Yeah. Money.
man, always tells me that.
What else have we got here?
All right, so we've got
We're doing a live unboxing.
I've got
number one.
3 midnight pedals, which I got in one lot actually.
Ah.
On Reverb, there was buy 3 pedals for some ridiculous price because an Italian store was having a clear out. And it was funny because they're Australian made, so it went all the way over to Italy. Sat in a store, didn't get bought.
That's a pretty
Came back
Interesting.
back again.
interesting looking
Now,
pedal.
this is an interesting design. I've only seen this on a handful of pedals. The volume knobs or the control knobs are actually on the very front face. So if you have it on a board, you got to be very particular where you're putting it.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie. It is
Yeah.
really cool. On my board, I ended up putting it that way.
So,
I
yeah,
think.
that
And it was
makes
facing
sense.
off the end,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't get caught on anything.
Smart.
This is basically just to simplify it, a higher gain version of that Interstellar Overdrive. So it's,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I want to say a distortion, not a fuzz, but I think it's somewhere in between. It's just gain and volume. The gain and volume work really strangely on this. I don't actually know which is which because we have hieroglyphics to work with.
Orange style.
We have glyphs to work with.
Yes.
So yeah, but like the orange ones are nice to read. This is what is infinite? Like what is that volume? Like it bringing it up to
That's just strange.
up to unity? Like
How come it's affinity, but it goes to 10?
Wow.
but anyway, it's a
Best man,
decent
I think.
pedal and it's got quite a small footprint. So
Yeah.
it's
I like the idea of like minimal surface space on the top though for like,
Yeah.
stumping.
I get
the idea,
This was
but-
actually, it says on the box and on the paperwork, this was actually number 1, serial number 1.
Wow.
Oh,
So that's part of the reason I got it.
hold on to that.
The later ones I did like them better. They had a slant enclosure and they came looking worn. Like
Yeah.
apparently it was inspired by Star Wars. Apparently.
I can see
can't-
it.
I can sort of see it. The other ones. I
Colour
can definitely
scheme wise.
see it. It has
Yeah.
like a nice slant. It's nice and worn. It looks
Yeah.
very.
It's a Death Star with a toggle switch.
I would actually say it's pretty close to that. It's competing with the Rat for my distortion when I had the 2 on the board. They sounded
so it
very
nice to have
sounds
options.
pretty good.
Speaking of the Rat, I have a pedal over there that some say is just a straight up Rat clone. It's the 1981 Overdrive. I feel like out of anybody at this table, you would probably know about that.
I'll bring it over.
not
just
entirely
there?
sure.
It's I found
You
about
would have
it.
seen it around.
Yeah, I found out about it through Instagram as a guitar player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this one. They're really good.
Yeah, it's really
They
nice.
look flawless.
It's gorgeous.
they,
like the
beautiful, right?
aesthetics of their Instagram,
It's
their
beautiful.
pedals.
They've changed it so it's like a shiny chrome now on the body or the actual chassis. That's number 57 of the original first 81 runs. It was like $350 for me to get that over here.
So what are you guys going to trade for it?
It's a fantastic
I'd like to
pedal.
see a live trade, by the way. On this episode, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Actually, I wouldn't put past it. I wouldn't put past it. I'd be willing to trade pretty much any of them, actually. This is a great pedal.
Yeah.
It feels
It's
like a tank.
fantastic. Yeah,
It feels
handmade.
How much do you think that weighs? It's like 4 kilos. It's like 3.
It's sturdy.
maybe 2.5 pounds. I don't know. For me.
That is quite heavy.
It's a tank.
For a pedal, yeah.
Yeah.
It's my go-to guitar sound, straight up. It's
Zero drive.
They are fantastic.
100% cut. 10% volume. That's what you get.
Yeah. because the cut is like if you roll back
The metal
cut,
zone.
it's the new metal zone actually sounds pretty okay. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
No, like there's actually
Metal
nothing
Zone.
really
Well,
wrong.
this has been episode 11 of the Live Room podcast.
I used to have a metal zone.
But, like-
100%. I used to have tons of boss pedals.
Well, it's like
Actually,
the heavy metal. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
is that the orange one?
Yeah, that's like the black and orange
Yeah.
one. That was the one that just like gained so much attention from all the Swedish.
The in today's day and age, as a guitar player, pedals have become so fancy. Like you have boutique pedals. I dare say. Like I bought a Friedman BEOD, BE Overdrive.
The ode, yeah.
It was too much gain for me. Like even on one, it was too much gain for me. The setting that I was using it in, it wasn't really going to work out. But this is perfect because it's really great low gain, but you can also crank it up and get some really, dare I say, metal tones. So
No, they're taking the world by storm. Actually, I think.
Yeah,
Like, on there, I've seen nothing but people supporting them and saying this is
they're fantastic.
unreal.
They
Like,
just released a black version, an all black version. It looks insane.
there was an all
I
white.
kind
version
of like
the-
that though, especially with like it's
Yeah.
a bright blue LED.
It looks like the DeLorean.
I'd have to say it does.
I like the more industrial looking gray.
Yeah,
Like if it were
Gunmetal.
if it were actually like shinier, I think I would.
It looks good, but I prefer this because this is just is.
Love the knobs, by the way.
Yeah, they're really nice. But pedals are really interesting. So shall we continue?
We're running
Yeah.
at real state. Allow me to adjust.
I'm a bit disappointed because when you asked me to be on the podcast, I sold like 5 pedals just before. This one is another one of the Midnight Audio ones. This
Wow.
is a Skyhorse. This is actually just a Skyhorse. The later ones are called the Skyhorse Air, and it is. It's a
they're
reverb.
actually tasty though.
It's a reverb.
It is a.
It looks insane.
Weird reverb. I don't know what in the hell that does.
It's called the Astral.
It's sort
No,
of
what's
like
that?
it switches between something. I think that's like ultra spacey. That's even spacier.
What's the middle, Kevin Spacey?
They're actually in the middle. But
It's loaded
soon?
gun.
I like the fact that it had a gain
The
stage.
Frank Underwood.
Oh, that's
So
really
it's
cool.
actually I don't know. I've tried about there, and you can't quite get like distortion out of it. But you
Yeah.
can definitely get a bit of an overdriven
yeah.
sound. But like
What's your take on it?
this paired, it's great. It actually has a really nice like little. I'm not sure what kind of like. Don't know whether preamp's the right word for it, but it's got a really nice little. We were speaking of pedals before that sort of just boost everything. This and that PDF2. Did you ever see that one that I had? Well,
Yep.
one that the Queens of the Stone Age used.
Yeah.
Yeah. By Stone Deaf. Weird company. Fantastic company. That was probably the best boost I've ever had. That PDF.
It's a
This
good
is a
little
close
boost.
second. Like this dialed all the way
Yeah.
down, just using like the pre of the amp, like the pedal, just on it. Everything sounds good. It just makes everything sound fantastic.
It's like a cheat knob.
Sort of, yeah. Like, as a reverb, it doesn't have many cool tricks or like time alterations or anything that I've found. It just sounds nice.
It's its own.
It's sort of because a lot of the knobs are not unmarked. They don't say
You have to guess.
Yeah, they don't say
Yeah.
decay.
It's just less or
That
more.
is a
for the most
satisfying
part.
switch to click to.
But yeah, that was number 2 of the 3 that came in that lot.
Wow.
The other one is
It's great looking. Nice and light too.
this one's probably my favorite out of the 3. This one is a Sun Model T preamp clone
Oh,
called the
nice.
Giant Sound.
I've seen
in
that.
Japanese.
I've seen you post that before. I'm like, I've been meaning to ask you what that pedal is because it looks
That-
cool.
Yeah, that is literally
very
just
Japanese.
a double gain stage preamp
very light.
based on the Sun Model T. So the heavies.
Yeah.
Works well as just a preamp, even at low gain. It sounds surprisingly like the real thing.
That's just sound in a box, that is, isn't it?
That's fantastic.
I don't use it too much anymore because I got that hovercraft. And that hovercraft is like a recycled Mad Amp Sun parts.
Hey.
So
It just
that sounds
looks.
basically the same.
It looks awesome.
It looks That's probably my favorite.
Great
It's
looking pedal.
It's good looking pedal.
And it's sort of vague enough that it looks
Yeah.
nice and cool on a board.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
But that's pretty straightforward too. One in, one out.
Yeah.
2 gain stages, a volume, 3 band EQ, I think.
It is very important to gain stage all your pedals. Very important. For those of you who don't know.
To those who don't know, what is gain staging?
Setting your volume appropriately so by the time it goes where it needs to go, it's not like
Yeah.
for example,
Clipping and all that.
Yeah, so
It looks great.
for example, gain staging, like if in a recording sense, you can set your input level too low. So by the time you mix it and you throw compression and stuff on, you're going to raise the noise floor and it's going to have white noise on it. So it's going to sound like, or if you record too hot, the signal is going to be too hot. So this is really good for like really loud pedals. Even if the volume is adjustable to a point, you can still kind of control that in a simple,
gorgeous,
very
man.
simple term.
So nice.
Thanks. Yeah, that was probably my favorite.
It's nice looking at separate pedals again for a change.
Yes.
Because I'm selling off my old pedal board. Because I used to be, we all kind of used to be as into pedals as Lewis is right now. But I've just got everything in one big unit now. And I'm like, I enjoy the simplicity of that. But sometimes it's nice like making your own sound.
Yeah, I've fallen in love with it. I think you remember I was a bias guy.
Yeah, we were pretty
positive,
much opposite.
and I still am. It's just it's so easy
Yeah.
to it's at your fingertips. I just go, want
There's
want that amp, want this pedal. Yeah.
pedals are something that I never really got into. Only up until recently. I'm not by any means a fantastic guitar player, and it's really easy for me to find a reasonable sound. I don't need the 1981 to get a good gain sound from the Orange amp. This just pushes the guitar sound in a way where I really enjoy it. This I bought for one of the more recent album projects I've worked on. This is a Russian Pickle. So this is like a distortion fuzz.
Yeah.
It's very similar to a Big Muff, but not as fuzzy. Boy, does it sound good. If you want to know what kind of sound this is relatable to, like every solo that David Gilmour ever did had fuzz and distortion on it.
Yeah.
This is what that sound is, basically. It still has clarity with chords, like power chords, but it really gives a nice bottom end to like single note stuff for solos. So fantastic pedal. It was like $300 though. That's the thing about pedals, man.
That's a
They're
sting.
really expensive. Another brand that's really cool is Catalan Bread.
Yes,
This
you
is
were
Great,
you were a big
Yeah.
supporter back in the day.
for sure.
This is the RAH. So this is modeled after the Royal Albert Hall Led Zeppelin performance that they put out. So this is basically an amp in a box. So this is modeled after like a late 60s high watt amplifier. So it's really high gain.
Damn.
It's really good.
That's what Daddy wants.
That's what Daddy wants.
And what Daddy wants, Daddy gets.
But you got to be really picky with how you use it, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Like this, it doesn't work well with the 1981. It doesn't work well with the Russian Pickle. It's pretty much got to be its own thing. So I've actually found myself not really using it a whole lot. And again, for like a $300 pedal, I mean, like you got to use them.
Probably pairs nicely with Gibson Les Paul, though, right?
Oh boy, Daddy wants. Daddy gets. Yeah.
That's what
Speaking of Daddy,
That's the name of the episode, by the way.
Daddy wants, Daddy gets. You've got the lovely Pog over there behind the camera.
I do.
That is probably the best octave that I've used.
It
still,
is.
still to this day.
100%.
Out of all the little one trick ponies.
I bought that pedal.
That's exactly
because
what they are.
I was looking for like a
One-trick
dirty rock sound. 7 years ago, I was playing in my very first band, and we were playing our very last show. There was this band that we were playing with at the time. They were called Crowbot.
Great name.
Look them up on Spotify. They're
a good name.
really good dirty groove rock band. And it was the first time that I've heard like distortion paired with like octave pedal. And
Yeah.
wow, it's good.
Big sound.
You know,
Big sound.
so I went out and bought one of those, and that sat in my in the garage for like the last 5 years. So half the shit doesn't even work. It still turns on, but like the knobs are like rusted in place. So you really only get the low.
I thought it was blood when I saw it before. I'm like, man,
That's metal.
It's
metal.
That's metal.
So it's like
He was
it's-
bleeding from his foot.
It's a good sound.
It's bleeding from his pedal.
them crooked vultures. That's what it sounds like to me.
Oh, yes.
nice.
And that's a sound and
Very
a half
nice.
right there. Absolutely.
sound
A refined sound.
refined. Yeah, it's really neat. But pedals are a fantastic thing, and it's cool to see
It's
it.
just fun sitting down, and like the way pedals are ordered can make a huge difference also.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
So like,
I still don't know quite where to use the preamp because like
You would assume the start,
I would
right?
assume the end of my chain. Trying to emulate a Sun amp. I would assume like pedals into amp. But at the same time, many people say no at
the front, yeah.
They say you are an idiot. Put it at the front.
Well,
I've always been a traditionalist with that. Like, you know, you have like, you know, like your volume pedals and your wahs, your
Yeah.
general overall things that you basically want to layer it so like what is first will affect everything after it.
Yes.
Volume is a bit of a weird thing.
It is.
Like you can chuck them after distortion to sort of just get like an attenuated.
Yeah,
Like
that's
if you
true.
lower the volume while your distortion pedals on, some of them break up in a really weird way because you're just like you're putting like barely a signal through them.
Yeah.
If it was me, I put that at the start and then like a volume pedal at the end. So you're controlling everything.
True.
It's like a throttle, yeah.
But it really all
Which
depends
is a
on,
cool expression way.
Depends
to
on
do
the
it.
sound.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of guitar player you are.
right.
I know, for example, like you're more effects driven. Especially, there goes a GoPro. Especially in the Navy Blue days, I remember very heavily effects driven and stuff.
Oh, definitely.
But nowadays, like for me, I would just hit the 1981. I'm set, man. I don't need anything else.
We had elaborate pedal boards then, man.
You guys did.
We had like at least
Like 3K pedal boards, easy.
yeah. But like the
Yeah.
pedal board was full and tightly put together. One of every effect I had for sure. And like I was constantly changing things between like, you know, verse and chorus and that. Obviously mainly like, you know, it's like all our choruses were heavy, so like, you know, crank on for that. But yeah, it was very much a dance all the time.
That's
Which
why
is-
the Helix is a really cool thing because it's just all there.
Well, it's all there, and then like I can like edit stuff on the spot like so easily. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, I want to add an octave to this particular one. All right, click, done. There's an
Yeah.
octave now. Like it makes everything too easy, and that's
Yeah.
the reason I got it. So, but I also miss creating my own sound from this rather than playing what's in my head straight away.
It's more organic, this stuff.
Definitely.
I think unless you have both at the same time, you'll always miss whichever one
agree.
you don't have.
I agree.
Like
Grass
when I-
is green on the other side, right?
I've made my decision now, and that's why I'm selling off all my old pedals because, like, I don't need two of everything when I've got one that does everything, but I can still appreciate this stuff for sure. I love it,
Yeah. That
especially that one. Oh my god,
that's
It's
a
great
beautiful
pedal.
looking pedal. Like
I love how it's like 3D writing looking as well.
that's what it looks like when you're in Japan because like everything in Japan has like neon signs and I saw you post a picture about that or like of your board on Instagram the other week or the other month whatever year it is, I don't even know. And my eyes immediately went to that one. I was like, that's sick. That's
It is.
cool.
That's part of what I wanted. It was I always liked. I hate to be that shallow guy. I like the look of pedals.
I agree.
I think
Yeah.
everyone deep down, like that Dead Stag. Like you look at that, you're just
good
like,
looking, man.
That
all of
looks
these
cool.
pedals testify your statement.
and it's sort of there are pretty ones out there. There are like,
Yeah.
With that being said, sometimes I like just a solid color.
Yeah.
And
nice
like again,
understated
like
look,
it,
yeah.
just, I just
You
like
need a bit of
good-looking pedal.
contrast.
And that was originally why I looked at the Midnight amplification ones, was they had. I hate to say it, I'm a bit of a slave to the aesthetic as well.
Yeah,
they also
well,
had
why not?
they also had like a doom metal aesthetic and vibe to them.
Yeah,
And I'm just
that's
like,
it.
oh, that's
Ram
that's what I
skulls,
play.
right? Like,
Mm.
I want that, and then I found out what it actually did and was, and then I wanted it a
Yeah.
little bit more.
That's
I want to
number
play
5,
metal.
that
I
one
will
too.
buy a metal zone.
Dude, I bought this 1981 not knowing what it sounded like.
Fantastic.
100%. I spent over $300 on pedal. I didn't even know. But I
Impulse.
looked at
Impulse.
it. I looked at
At
it. Yeah,
its best.
100% impulse. That's my middle name. My wife can testify to that. The look of it purely just, I knew it was going to sound good.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on
fantastic.
like competition boards I've seen on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, this little niche.
Actually, I entered that.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was like
Yeah.
4 pedals, and that was one of them. Like,
Yep.
oh snap!
Exactly the same outcome every time. Didn't win, even though I knew I wouldn't, and get grumpy about it.
At least you tried.
Can you please explain to me the amazing aesthetic of the pedal? Like, we used to use pedal trains back in our day. It was very basic. You slap some Velcro on, boom, easy. But there's like a bit of a new thing that you and Kyle, I believe,
Yeah.
were using, and I've seen some photos around.
I think
Just
it
explain
was
that,
Tyler
'cause-
first mentioned them to me. I think Temple.
Temple,
The
thank
boys
you.
from
name.
Temple boards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Kyle went
So what is that?
flat out impulse one day. It's like your regular board. It's like Lego for guitarists. Like
okay.
instead of
Or
like,
like a
board with your Velcro,
Meccano.
it's a board with, I don't know, I'd say probably like perforated holes about that spacing. And you buy a plate that like sticks to your pedal like the force of 1,000 suns.
Yeah.
Like you
clamp.
cannot get it off. Like
Yeah.
you have to use like solvent to get it off.
Yeah.
or something. I don't know. Probably not. That doesn't sound good.
Yes.
Basically, it sticks so well, and then you put it into any of these little slot holes, and you screw it in from the back.
Oh.
So it's not going to move unless you
going
undo
anywhere,
it. Like
yeah.
it's threaded.
That is really cool.
And they've got in the ends of the boards, they've got like little utility jacks, so you can put like your input jack in there. You can have your power on the other side.
Perfect.
Basically, it's a really good thing.
Yes.
It's just a little more expensive.
Yep.
Makes it a bit more minimalist and
They got some big
Tidies it
boards
up.
too. They got some boards that are like probably like
So you've got a temple yourself.
Kyle has.
Kyle's got one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually that was my next thing I was going to get, but I downsized on my pedals so much.
That's right.
Might not now actually,
Yeah.
but they're really good. Like it's sort of
Yeah.
It doesn't lend itself well to the person who wants to. I think anyway, wants to experiment and sort of change out pedals all the
I
time
agree.
because
if you want to set and
they're
forget,
sort of locked there. And like once you use one of the base plates on that pedal, you don't really want to take it off again because
course.
it ruins the adhesive.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So I definitely stick with the Velcro.
I've danced with the idea. You were selling your pedal board, and I was like, okay, great, this is a good chance for me to check it out and see how it works. And I'm like, I don't have enough pedals to really make a big pedal train worth it. So I was looking at one of the pedal train juniors or the minis, or like the competition one that you entered at, because I just want 4 spots, because all I want is like a tuner, 1981, possibly a reverb, because I don't have a Fender amp anymore. It doesn't have that nice Fender reverb. I had a more Echo Verb, and I just didn't end up liking the sound of it once I really looked at it.
They're $80 pedals, man. Like great entry ones,
Yes.
but it's a lot better.
They do
experiment.
okay.
They do very well for the price point.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for sure. So I'd like a nice preamp pedal just to kind of boost everything going in, and then a verb at the end. But that's all I need, man. And I'm not by any means anything fancy. So, but it sounds good.
The one in the one I reposted was a Temple, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they make some tiny boards, and it's good. The board that I posted is only, I think.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty, it's a Nano. It's a Nano 24
That's all you need.
pedal train, yeah. Like I've thought of getting something ridiculous, but
Yeah.
again, I look at it and I just go, what am I going to put on? I'm going to look like an idiot having a board that's this big and it's like not even half full.
I know.
I've had my pedal board. I think I got a pedal board 2 or a pedal train 2. Sorry. And that's been up for sale for a while, and there's been a few bites, but people are like, oh, would you trade like, I don't know, the new Assassin's Creed game for it? I'm like, no.
God,
Just
I reckon selling used to be easier online back in the day.
yeah, for sure.
It's hard now, man.
I had to drop that Firebird.
so much.
It was
Man, it's a
how
gorgeous
much
looking
those,
guitar.
How much those? It's gone now, but like how much do those retail for? Like on Billy, I know it's Billy Hyde, so it's like the most
Gibson.
possible.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Retailed for like 3,200 or something. I had it for 1,400, I think. It was still pretty much brand new.
Yep.
I played it
was
for
so
2
tempted.
hours. I end up selling it for I think 900.
Oh,
I know. I was doing renovations. I needed the money.
Sometimes you got to part with stuff like that.
That was the thing. Is like, and the
Absolutely.
joke is, I always like whenever you guys hit me up about it, I'm like, I'll do ultra special price for you guys because I want to see it go to a good home. But
Yeah.
I just needed it gone.
I looked
fair.
at it. I looked at it every time you posted up. I'm like, man, I cannot believe that that's not selling.
It got so much attention on the post.
Yeah, it did.
Like that always happens. You
People
notice that?
like,
you get
people comment.
You get like 20 likes at least. People be like
I know.
tagging their mates, and you're just like,
And then people offered
just buy it.
just stupid trades. So.
just buy it.
I know.
hey man, can you trade an Xbox for that one? No. How about a Commodore? No.
I saw somebody the other day on one of the gear sell and trade posts. They were like, I'm putting it out there, just putting some feelers out there, but I want to trade my iPhone 7 for a Les Paul.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
I was like,
The joke was, I actually know that guy, and he's a good dude, and he's a member of a thread I'm in, which is like really highly revered. I was really surprised to see that because he didn't seem like a pleb. But they're like,
Obviously, that's not the case.
I was shocked. I was like, really? Like, I mean, I get it. I mean, it's of value.
It's a guitar
it's sort of-
trading platform. Stick to guitars.
I think trades that involve like two different.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. It's really hard.
Sometimes
to value.
people put up like MacBooks and that, or like iMacs and like.
I can understand
I get
that
it.
though, because like you can use that for
It's
recording
music
purposes.
production,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. But anything else,
They're up to the
Actually-
iPhone 10 also. Like, come on.
Funnily enough, with
10S.
that Firebird, I forgot the funniest part about it. A guy lowballed me. I was asking 900 or a 9. I think it was 1,000 actually.
Absolute steal.
Guy was said, "Would you do 800?" And just out of pure principle, I was like, "No, no. Like I need the money." But this old guy, and then the second I said no, he did the old like back in my day. I've got a 70s original Firebird that I sold to a music store for way less.
Good for you, dude.
I sort of just went, cool. And like I was
You can have this one for $900.
I was trying so hard not to yell at him. And then it got weirder. He waited a while and he sort of did the old like, haha, you're making a mistake. I know what I'm talking about.
What a
I went,
prick.
Yeah, sure,
What a
buddy.
sociopath.
And then 2 hours later, he sent me a photo of a shrimp dinner. And he sent me another photo of the same shrimp dinner. Wow. Then he sent me another photo of it. Ended up in 4 photos of this, albeit wonderful looking shrimp dinner. And he turned out that he was trying to send me a photo of his Firebird that he'd sold to prove a point. But like I got really weirded out. It was like 2 a.m. This like 50-year-old dude sending me photos of shrimp dinner.
All people don't know how to use Facebook.
I thought, I was like, are you gonna trade me that? Are you gonna cook me a shrimp dinner?
I'll do
rest of my life.
$800 and a nice home
shrimp
cooked
dinner.
meal.
Like I was genuinely, that was it. I was sort of
That's
just like,
fantastic.
I was like,
So what did you say? Sold or?
it ended up just on like mutual, just like you're a dickhead. Yep, you're a dickhead. Yep.
Just parted
It
ways.
was sort of just like you're wrong, buddy. No, you're wrong.
I think you really want to do business, even if it is like a guitar trade. There has to be a connection with the two
Definitely.
for sure.
I felt weird.
There has to be a working
The
relationship.
second he lowballed, I didn't want to sell to him. Even if he had
Lowballing
even if-
$100,
even
like,
even
come
if he
on.
had have gone up to what I wanted, I would have been hesitant because like he straight off the bat didn't seem like the guy you want to deal
Man, I don't like
Yeah.
that. Just when people, I always try and pay for what people are asking for because I understand it because I've been in that position before. I once sold a Canon camera. It was a Canon 5 something or whatever, a Canon Rebel. That's what it was. And I put it on Craigslist for $400. I was like, yeah, I'll be happy if I get $250. Somebody's like, yep, $400. And they came the next day and I was like, well, shit, they just got the shitty end of the deal. I was like surprised. But oftentimes, it's with the trading post, you never know what you're going to get. So it's funny to hear all the stories like that.
I was selling a Vox AC30.
I remember
back
that
a
one.
while. I think I was reselling for $900, which
That's about
was
average.
probably
That's
a
pretty- it's pretty good.
a pretty decent resale. And I probably only used it for a year, gigged
Yeah. Good amp.
a little bit out of it, maybe 10 times or so. $900. A guy from Melbourne offered to buy it. I'm like, yeah, cool. He drove up for it, and then when he got to my house, he's like 800. I'm like,
No.
you just put me in a really shit position,
Yeah,
haven't you?
that's like the
Because
worst.
like if I say
thing
no,
to do.
you have to drive all the way back, and it's like the pressure's on at that point.
That's a pressure cooker moment.
Oh,
though. I've sold a lot of stuff in my time. Like I sell cars and stuff as well.
yeah,
Online. Like if they do that, like, nah, drive home. See ya.
yeah.
Don't lowball me in person.
I had that
I think
happen.
I think I met halfway. I said, look, 850 is cool. You drove all the way here, but still,
That's-
you know,
that's nice and
because
fair.
it's because they know that
yeah,
you've got a sale right in front of you.
it's a steal.
They're just like, you're not going to say no. Like
I would.
that's the thing is you've got
the
to
mentality,
learn to stand the ground.
I'd rather be a gentleman about it.
And I'd rather
You
make an
guys,
extra
$100.
$100.
Price is the price.
Well, you guys know that. I had the Tonic kit here for a while, right?
Tamer.
yeah,
You sold
You
that.
just sold it.
I sold it.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't my kit. The guy whose kit it is, he's like, hey, look, I need some money. Do you mind selling it for me? You'll be able to get retail value or close. And I'm like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Because I have my kit now and
Yeah.
whatever, we don't use it. So I put it up for $650. Fair.
Yep.
I saw one go up today for 800 actually, and it looked really nice condition. I was like, oh, I probably could have sold it for that. But whatever, was eager to get it at the door. So the guy drives from wherever in Melbourne. Okay.
Where's that?
So Melbourne, mate.
Oh, Melbourne.
So I told the guy, look, it's just a bit dusty because it's been sitting on top of the booth in the studio, so I'll wipe it down for you. It's just missing the first rack tom head, which is 10 inches. Because I broke the head and I just never put it back because I didn't use the 10-inch head. I used the 12. He's like, okay, that's fine. So he comes in, and then we realize that the mounting bracket for the hoop, it like supposed to screw into the, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's supposed to like thread into something
yeah.
to tighten it up. It was missing that. So he's like, oh, all right. So it's missing that. So would you take 500? And I'm like, dude, it is not like an $80 part.
Yeah.
I get what you're trying to do, but it's not working.
No.
So I'm like, look, I'll give it to you for $5.50 because I'm trying to give my friend the best deal possible. Go to the music store afterwards here. I'm sure they'll have something. So whatever. Just give me $5.50 or whatever.
It'd be a $10 part.
It's just
if that.
That's what I said. I'm like,
if that.
it's like a $5 threaded rod or something like that. Just don't be a dick about it.
Yeah.
So then he messaged me on Facebook later. He's like, oh, it's going to take 2 weeks for them to order that part in. If you can find it, forward it on to me. I'm like, you know what, dude? Whatever. Don't be a dick to me. Don't come.
Get banned.
You know, yeah, it's like you finally show up face to face and it's like, oh, would you do this? No. I wouldn't have agreed to the meeting now. I'm like, you know, even if it is $20, it's out of principle.
That's why you always get the price locked in beforehand.
I know.
I'm just always so happy every purchase or sell. Nobody's ever messaged me afterwards. And I'm just really happy for that.
Yes.
Like I've sort of like, you know, like PRSs and just ridiculous things. And it's like, oh, I'm happy that they're happy with the purchase and they haven't messaged me back. Like,
It's relief.
That would suck.
Actually,
It's
I sold that small stone phaser, the EHX small stone.
Yeah.
When he
Yeah,
got
yeah.
it, he was like, it doesn't work. It worked before I sent it. And I was like, oh, that's a bummer. Do you want to send it back to me? He's like, yeah, sure, I will. Send it back to me. I refunded him. Worked when I got it back.
That's weird.
Was
So
just
does he
like
buy
a-
it back again? Or?
No, just like I got back to him and he just like never got back to me.
Maybe he tested it and didn't like it. Didn't like it.
It wasn't too bad because I got the pedal back. So it wasn't like
It's not really a loss. Just
it was
a
sort of
little
just
bit of messing
a waste
around.
of time.
Yeah.
But that was the
Postage.
only time I'd ever had someone.
I had that happen once, actually. And I was selling a wireless guitar unit. I had two of them. So it came with a receiver box and then the thing you would put on your strap,
Yeah.
like duct tape on your strap and plug in. I had two of those and I accidentally crisscrossed them and they only pick up to the receiver that's in the box. So I sold it to this guy on Route 11 in Central Square on Craigslist
man.
the day before I went to Disney World. So, and I was away for a week, so I didn't know. And I come back to find that I had sold the wrong thing. And I was like, shit. Well, that sucks. Try to reach out to the guy, never replies. So it's like, what do you do? You know, I've been on the bad.
just-
I've been on the bad end
if
of
it
that.
was a problem, I'm sure he would have.
Mistakes happen as long as people are, you know, genuine about it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's, you know, few and far between
Yeah.
those moments.
Well, again, that guy could have like harassed me borderline when he got the pedal. It didn't work because he'd paid for it. I sent it to him. It didn't work.
That doesn't
You
make
could've
sense,
just-
though. You put it in the box and it works. I don't know.
Well, I patted it. I don't know. Australia Post.
you never know.
I swear,
what
like
if it
some
is the
guy
courier's
probably-
problem?
Some guy
That
probably got it out
really
and went,
sucks.
"Oh, is this a bomb?" Like just like
Yeah.
stood on it really hard and was like, "Yeah, no, it's not a bomb.
Oh, this bomb doesn't work.
This bomb's broken." And then just like put it back in the package and gave it.
Lewis is like, it worked when I sent it.
And before I get a knock on my door.
Hello, Mr. Rainford.
That's what you should do is you should take a video of it working before you put it in the box and say, okay, this is the last moments I have it here. Here, I'm taping the box.
Actually, yeah, sorry, I did that actually with that PDF. The guy was acceptably a bit like what's the word? Skeptical.
Yes.
Buying pedals.
Sure.
And he said, I've been burned before. And I said, oh, me too. Like, I can't remember what it was that I've been burned by. I tried to
It's generally
get that out
amps.
of my mind.
They say
Yeah,
amps
yeah.
are the dodgiest
I think
thing
it was,
to buy.
but I took, he's like, could you take a video of it working? And I was like, no problem. It works.
Yeah.
No worries. Have you guys, it looked so dodgy. Have you guys had a problem at all with like Messenger sending videos with no audio?
Yes.
I sent him a video of it, like, hey, look, it works. And he's like, there's no audio on that video, man. And I was just like, this probably looks so bad. Like, he was like, can you send me a video to make sure it's legit? Yeah, sends video with no audio. Tried it 3 times, no luck. And I ended up sending it again and it worked. But I'm like, I'm glad that dude even like kept messaging me because that would have just looked
Really
so
shady.
bad.
Yeah,
Like, I was like,
this pedal
hey, make sure it
works.
works. Yeah, man, look at this. Silent video. Just like,
What would have been funnier? It's like, hey, can you send me a video of this working? And you send him a link to a YouTube video that someone else has done reviewing it.
That's really funny.
but I was sort of just like, I promise it works. Like, don't. Like, I promise.
Fourth
I
time's
think
the
more
charm, mate.
people should upload like little video. I mean, it's not like anybody can't do it. Like a simple phone video when
Yeah.
selling basically an amp or well anything really online with
I do
guitar
it.
related stuff.
I do it when when they like messages like sent, like I'm interested in this, cool. You get more information than is currently out there.
Yeah.
So you got to go the extra mile for people.
Check your PMs, bro.
Probably more
Slide
so
in my
with like
PMs.
expensive gear, right? Like if you had a Gibson
Yeah.
Les Paul and you had, you know, the production value, like a guy like Eric,
Yeah.
it's like you may as well go to town with a bit of a video if you want to get a good sell.
Yeah, check out this quick video I put together for you, and it's like completely
Full
like
production value.
full production, like
Got the live room podcast intro.
shredding.
Or even a link to something you've recorded with it.
I've done that before.
I've done that a lot.
I sold the Tama kit, and I sent him some videos of stuff I recorded before. I'm like,
Yeah, cool.
Just so you know, this is actually what it sounds like. There's no samples on this recording. You know, I'm not trying to show off, but it's like, dude, you're buying something, buy it with confidence, and I don't want somebody to come back to me. You know, especially like
That's definitely the good approach.
I own a business. You know, like this guy can leave a shitty review.
That's
you know?
right.
Yeah.
Put yourself out there best way possible. So yeah, pedals are a wonderful thing.
They really are.
They're a hell of a thing.
Yeah, wonderful, expensive thing.
I have an offer for you about one of my last remaining pedals, but I'll talk to you about it after the podcast.
Okay.
Do it now.
No, after the podcast.
You want to do the live trade?
Yeah.
I want to see a live trade.
No live trade.
I don't have it on me.
I'll do the
and
live trade.
I
No
need
live
more
trade.
info on it.
I'll do a live trade for you. Swear to God.
Whatever pedals.
What would you do for one of those? If you're not interested, I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
What do you want?
That one.
That one?
Yep.
All right.
Done. Done.
Live trade.
Was that the Stag?
This one.
Oh, but what?
I'd actually rather it's still a great pedal.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
But you don't know where to
I'd
fit it in your chain.
Yeah, that's the thing is I'm actually trying to get rid of it, the hovercraft.
Oh, mate.
Not actively, but I'm trying to look for. I recently got an orange.
That's a nice trade, though.
Recently got a Thunderbird.
I'm
so
about
trying
it.
to
It's
get some
of-
cabs going.
It's of equal value.
Yeah.
The cool thing, I have the original box. I'll give you two.
Yeah, let's have a got there.
The cool thing about that one is you've got your tone controls. It's just after I have the 1981, I don't really need another gain pedal. It just doesn't make sense. You know, so I'd rather a preamp pedal that looks as cool as that.
100%.
You got your live trade, Jackson.
Actually,
I'm excited.
I'll do you a live trade.
It's a nice little lineup there.
4. This can of Great Northern.
Mate, done deal. how much beer is that?
A good 2%.
2 mils.
2%?
2 mils maybe. There's some.
There's something
There's
in there.
something in there. I got something.
2 live trades.
Wow.
Comes with liquid. Does not.
I think you win.
Clear winner.
Yeah. And don't feel obligated because we're live on air. If it's,
No, what I'll do is I'm more than happy for that.
Okay.
And if you don't like that, we can trade back.
figure
You
it
give it a go.
Send him a video
Give it a go.
first. You know?
Send me a
Send me a
video
video.
with
No idea.
I can send you a video.
No, it's cool. That's cool. I know what it does.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
basically just sounds fat.
Yeah.
It sounds thick.
Yeah, that's what we want.
Well, I got my live trade, so I'm pretty content with
Well,
that.
we're
Any
pretty
final
content.
thoughts, guys? Or
Any final thoughts? Any final things?
you got anything we can check out of your work, Lewis? You got a SoundCloud or Instagram?
I'm
we can follow you?
going to
Fuzzfiend on Instagram.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
We'll add a little thing.
Yeah. Put it right in. I was going to release a Doom album.
Wow.
Doom drone album soon. It's just
Very exciting.
30-something minute EP.
A
That's
solo project, or what can you tell us about that?
It's with Brody.
Nice.
So it's a duo.
Yep.
Amazing. You guys
Just,
do some crazy work together. So
It's basically the same riff, played a little bit differently for half an hour. Really slowly. And at one point...
But that's good.
Yeah, the
At one
Acacia
point,
strain
it
did
halves
it.
yeah. Because it's just disgusting. It's gross. Like, it is actually disgusting, but it's the kind of disgusting I like.
Cool.
disgusting.
Keep an eye out for it, guys.
That's fantastic. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, guys. Be sure to rate us on iTunes or whatever you do. Keep following on YouTube and Instagram. Otherwise, it's been a fantastic episode 11. You can see the sun's been setting as we've been discussing pedals.
Oh, we'll time lapse it.
Yeah, we'll time lapse it.
idea.
That'd probably be pretty cool.
yeah, you can see this guy's just starting to get purple.
I like it. Thanks for joining us, Lou.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks, viewers. Bye.
Thanks for coming, mate. Thanks for coming.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Get that,
Cool.
get that up, yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Get it up, you thought.